And that's how it's all began, and we just
Well, what did they ultimately say, Crain, that got you over the
it was just that they were so persistent in that I was going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So I said, okay, then we'll go ahead and give it a try. And at that time, we were successful. So, and we spent 2 terms on council, and which was great.
Yes, 8 years there, 94 to 2002, I believe. Yeah.
And that's great. I'd like for everyone to be a part of that at some point in their life.
Absolutely.
It's a great education. If someone would like to have a real education.
Yeah, what about it in particular really stands out on the education side? What really served as the education for you?
I think knowing the people, getting to know the people, knowing their wants, their needs, and how do you balance that? You know, so many people will call you for this, that, and the other, and everyone has an opinion, and they're always different. So how do you balance that? You know, so you'll spend many restless nights wrestling with how you will do this. How can you help someone? You know, and you're always willing to help and be a part of their life, and as long as it's a positive thing, you always want it to be positive. You don't want anything negative, because you are going to receive enough negative things. But give them something positive to go on.
That's wonderful. Well, obviously that experience of knowing that you're just one of 7, 8, 9, or 12, depending on what the council is, votes, and that you surely have to work as a team to be able to get to that majority vote. It can be slight, 6 to 5, or the Myrtle Beach City Council is what, 7 or 8 members, 9 members?
What, 5, I believe it is.
Right. It may have even changed over forgive me not to put you on the spot. And as we think about those, and of course recently with the changes, that I think it's that's right, with the changes there, and incumbents were brought back in again here, Michael and of course Susan Grissom Means there, and Dr. Phil Render did very well. Of course, seeing just the other folks stepping out, both Judy Rodman, who you served with, and Easterling there, and of course Mike Louder, the ability, as you say, just to step out there. That's probably an education in and of itself, running for office.
It really is. You don't know what it's like meeting the public until you really get out there and become a part of it. And I think that's where you will really get an education that you've never seen before. You can't pick that up in a classroom.
Right.
There's no way. But it's wonderful to do that.
During your 2 terms on council, Crain, does anything stick out that you're most proud of? Anything that you worked diligently on? Anything you were a part of? Of course, there's so many things. I probably caught you off guard by trying to highlight that, but is there anything that really sticks out in your mind?
I think the stormwater drainage, over the city, and the underground lines that's going in now.
Up and down Ocean Boulevard.
And then I think the building of recreation, parks, and then trying to restore some of the things of that nature. I think it's just great to do that, and we were a part of that, and we moved along with it, and people accepted that quite well.
I saw that you were very active with the All Aboard Committee, helping the Myrtle Beach Train Depot become a reality, working with Jack Thompson and a lot of other volunteers, but obviously city support ultimately has to happen to make that happen.
Yeah, well, it really did. And that was really tough, but we were able to get it done, and now just look at the use that it's serving now. And then we got it on the National Register.
Is that right? Yes, I heard that. We filmed there not long ago, and Richard Kirby was saying it's got to be one of the most popular buildings now for receptions and wedding events and otherwise. Folks rent it out. It's kept him very busy, just coming in there to open it up and close it down at night.
Yes. yes. So we just enjoy doing that, and we enjoy being a part of the city and working with people, and I guess it's just in our blood, as you said earlier.
Right, in your blood. You know, that idea of at some point prior to retirement, am I correct that you went from teaching into becoming an administrator?
Yes.
What was that transition like, having been in the classroom, obviously having introduced a lot of folks for the first time to different aspects of science or even mathematics, and then getting out of the classroom and getting into administration? What was that transition like?
Somewhat tough, especially dealing with some of your peers there. Because we moved into another school at that particular time, when we went into the office, and quite a few people thought that I knew that I was going into administration.
Really?
At the time. People knew that I didn't know that I was going, and so it's a good story about that. I was in Charleston in a meeting when I really heard that I was going to go, and one of the persons said, "Well, you know, you haven't been notified." I said, "No, I haven't been notified." And they said, "Oh yeah, tomorrow morning you're going to be at the middle school." I said, "Well, no one has told me." But anyway, when I came back, and I went on to work as usual, and then the principal there at the elementary school said, "Someone talked to you?" I said, "No, no one talked to me." And they really hadn't.
You were kidding.
No one really had talked with me. So
that was a tough
I was out
then
with the children around noontime playing out on the yard when someone came from the district office and said that you were going up to the middle school. You're being transferred. And I said, "Oh," I said, "Well, let me get my coat and whatnot." He said, "Well, you don't have time because we got to move along." So they put me in the car and carried me up there in my shirt sleeve and introduced me to the faculty.
That is a crazy story.
And so I
can't even imagine that.
Yeah,
someone from the school district said you didn't have time to get your jacket.
I didn't have time to get my jacket.
Lord.
So it was fun, though. We went up, and I knew the teachers, and they knew me. And
sure.
of course, you know, being a part of them, it was just tough.
That is amazing.
But we did go, and we were just happy that we made the transition. And things worked very well. Of course, you know, like anything else, you talk about administrators and you talk about the teachers. So, you know, that was one thing that we had to overcome.
Absolutely.
But it worked well.
That's fantastic. Crain, we just got a couple of minutes, and I'm sure a lot of viewers are either sitting here watching right now or they're walking by their TV, they're seeing you on TV, and they say, "Oh, there's Wilson Cain." Does that ever happen? Does anyone ever get you confused with Wilson? Obviously, since y'all's names are kind of close to each other, he's Wilson Cain, you're Crain Wood, CWWC. Anyone ever get you all confused?
Absolutely, and we always laughed about it. We would answer for each other.
No.
Oh, yes, we would just laugh and go. We never correct it. We just leave it alone. And it was fun to us to hear this. And so we it was fun, and we did that for we would look at each other a lot of times. When we were together and someone said
someone would address you as Wilson, or and you'd look over and
so I'd say, okay, whatever we needed to answer, we would answer and go on.
That is hilarious, Crain.
We had fun.
You know, I think I don't think you said it directly, but I believe you and your bride have been married now. Is it almost 50 years?
Very close, 47 years, 48 years, December the 19th.
Wow. What is it that enables you all to, I know you talked a little bit about it earlier, but what do you think has been the secret success?
Well, you got to keep a little spice in your life, you know. A commitment is number one, I think, that you have to do. But you also have to be able to say, let's go out tonight let's go do this, let's go do that. Have a surprise for your bride, and it doesn't take a lot. You know, it's not the big things sometimes that your mate really want. Small thing, you know, like take her a candy bar sometime, maybe a rose sometime, right. You know, especially when she's not expecting right. anything. Right. And that surprise is a wonderful thing to see how she will light up. You know, it's just, oh, you thought about me. So it's wonderful to do that. I'll give her a compliment. And that's how we've made it along.
And obviously the other way around as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Julia's done that.
She has.
I'm sure. That's wonderful.
And it's so wonderful to have that kind of relationship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you miss anything not being in the classroom, Crain?
I do. I honestly do. I just miss the sound of the children there. I miss the teachers, the faculty, you know, the staff. But in missing them, sometimes it's a good miss because sometimes you're so criticized you don't want to hear that part. So, but yes, I really miss it. And but it's just wonderful anyway to be able to move to another phase of life. And that's what retirement is. I think it's another phase of life. As my granddaughter liked to say, it's just another reward that you've got.
I love it. I love it. Those are great words. Crain, thanks so much for being with us this morning. I'm sorry we've run out of time.
So soon?
Absolutely. I'll show you the time in just a second. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with the Honorable Crain Woods coming up next. Whether it was those early years as the youngest son of a farmer and a housewife, later as a teacher and a coach, as an administrator, then as a public servant, you know, you think about all those things that have to happen over all those years. Of course, the rewards of retirement have come. You heard him wanting to be back in the classroom, but the big thrill there, 47, soon to be 48 years of marriage to his beautiful bride, Julia. Celebration, his great smile here. You see it every day, whether you bump into him at the post office or around town. He's got that smile. The Honorable Crain Woods.